Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this reading could resonate if you're a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And keep in mind, obviously, it's not going to resonate with all of you. It'll be a very specific reading. You'll definitely know if it's yours. Just disregard it if it isn't. If you feel like the tarot reader is wrong, or, this just isn't your story, that just means it's not your reading. It's for someone else. So just discard it. Maybe the next one will be for you. We're also just going to disregard gender here. If I pull king, queens, emperors, or empresses, that really doesn't have anything to do with the sex or gender. Those cards describe a personality, so you'll definitely know who we're talking about here. I'm not pulling on anything specific. It's just going to be general. I'll let the oracle lead the way. I'll clarify with the tarot. I'll grab some advice at the end. If you like my style of reading, consider subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate that, and it'll also notify you every time I post. I do also offer a membership. If you want to check out the perks for that, you can click the join button below. And I do offer private personals to my members. If you are interested in a free one-question detailed reading, all the information to get that is in my community tab, or where it says posts on the channel, so you can check that out. I want you to take this reading however it resonates for you. Obviously, some of you maybe dealing with it like another earth sign or something. So sometimes these readings can be read in the reverse when they're put out in this manner, or they're for so many people. So just take it that way if that's how you feel like it is. All right, let's get into it. So we have the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles. Now, oddly enough, in this deck, what am I talking about? The 10. Let me get my life together. This is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, usually the Seven of Pentacles in your typical deck would be reaping the rewards, and you do have the Seven of Pentacles out here from the regular deck, reaping the rewards of your hard work. But unfortunately, this Seven of Pentacles in the Thoth Tarot speaks on failure. So not actually seeing the results from some work that you've put in here. So let's kind of get into the oracle here. We have Wanderlust of the Spirit. I follow my spirit on its wanderlust. Guided by intuition and character, I trust myself to journey freely. We have an offer. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. Self-objectification. Objective knowledge about the self or self-understanding. We have the Page of Swords, the Magician, Virgo, Gemini energy, the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Wands. So I'm kind of getting here that you've learned some lessons, and it all comes down to the things that you have failed at. Right? So I feel like we're looking back at the times or the situations where we felt like we failed, and not in a negative way, where it's like, damn, I'm such a fucking failure. No, it's, this went wrong. Let's look at why. And if I can use some of that knowledge to improve things in the future. Did I read this dance card? It says dance. Allow yourself some fun each day, just as the sun dances with the moon each night. I'm not sure that I read that, but I think there was something in the past that you wanted really bad and you put a lot of resources into it. But despite all the work that you put in, all you kind of got back out was disappointment. Now, for each of you, this is going to be something different. It could be a business, where like you started your very own first business and it didn't go the way you thought it would. For some of you, this could be in relationships where you're kind of looking back at like how much work you put into something just in the end to end up disappointed, and what can I learn from that failure. So I do like that this is not in such a negative way. Again, I feel like it's somebody future planning and looking at what's going to make them happy based off of how they got where they are. So we're leaving those failures in the past and we're about to put everything we have into a future endeavor here. I feel like there is an offer that's being made to you, or maybe even just an idea that you came up with. I just love the energy here, because a lot of times if people, and I'm not saying that you weren't at a bitter state with this at some point in time, but a lot of times people will take a failure and they never move on from it. They're like, that's it, I'm a fucking failure. And they never try something new. They don't try a second go at it. They're incapable of looking at why they failed. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like bad things happen to me. This is not the type of person that I'm looking at. I'm looking at someone that's like, every once in a while, we're going to fail. And as long as we take a lesson from it and bring that into the future with us, then there probably will be success. So I really like the energy here. Somebody is definitely in good spirits, I want to say. They're quite optimistic here that they actually can make something happen for them despite any past failures. So let's get a little further into this. Now, maybe for some of you, you aren't feeling like this. Maybe this is telling you that you should, that, like if some of you are on the bitter end of things, instead of looking at something that failed in the past as just that, in all of the ways that you failed and all of the ways someone failed you, or, yada, 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 instead of looking at just the negative aspects, what did I learn from this? And how can I take what I've learned to make sure it doesn't happen again? There could be a change of mindset here. Tell me about this Two of Wands. Because I think a lot of this comes down to somebody's mindset and them saying, hey, the way that I choose to look at this is going to matter. I could look at it and just be completely upset at the fact that I was disappointed, or I can be optimistic. Because either way, you end up you're in the same situation no matter what. It's just when you're optimistic, you can see a way out of it. The Empress, Libra, Taurus, the Queen of Cups, the Hermit, Virgo energy. At the bottom of the deck, the Emperor, Aries energy. I think for a lot of you, this could be an actual relationship. Like I'm kind of looking like some of you were in something kind of long term and somehow someone else ended up involved. Could be a water sign. Definitely doesn't have to be. And finding this out, feeling like, okay, well, my marriage failed and I wasn't good enough because that's how this happened, blah, 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 blah. And now kind of looking at the energy like, the reason that this failed is because it was supposed to. It just wasn't, this just wasn't my life partner. It just wasn't supposed to be forever. You know what I mean? And now I have this opportunity to start over and get what I actually am looking for here. For some of you, this is a business, though, and you really maybe just chose the wrong business partners. Like you could have seen in someone this like equal position as you, or someone who thought like you, or that they were going to bring some type of abundance to the table, and it's just not the reality of what happened. I think here it's like, I know maybe before too you were blaming someone else for the failure of a situation, and here it's taking accountability and control. For some of you, that's what you have to do. I'm kind of getting that some people who have been sitting around really bitter over a situation for a long time, and they've blamed everybody in the situation. The Emperor, the Queen of Cups, well, the Empress, however it resonates there for you, the Queen of Cups, they're the reason that everything went the way that it did. And even though that might be true, it's not going to get you anywhere to sit around blaming someone else. You're going to have to take some action and do something differently here, because you're actually in control of your future. So I don't know who I'm talking to and about what, but there's going to be some clarity this week about what really went down in a situation, why things ended up so disappointing, and what you can do to move forward and not allow that type of situation to happen again. For some of you, this was a relationship, and the problem was that it took, well, even if it's not, no matter what it was, when you did fail at whatever this was, it really hit your confidence, your self-esteem. And I think that's kind of what is coming back here now with the self-objectification and dance. Because whatever this was, it was bitter. And some people had to be cut off. One person, I think, meant the world to you. And, that relationship just isn't there anymore because of what was done here. So there was a fail all around in the situation. And I think it left somebody down and out. And maybe for a long period of time. Either way, there's a shift here. Everything's changing. The future is looking brighter. There's more optimism to whoever I'm speaking to here. It's almost like the eclipse really removed a bunch of energy and made somebody just see things for what they really were, so that they could finally move the fuck on from it. Some of you have been feeling like a failure, and it's been based off of someone else's choice. Like if this was a relationship and someone, I'm kind of getting like, had something long-term with you, but then just kind of fucked everything up to go deal with someone else, and you made that about you. That was the problem. And now you're kind of realizing that that shit was never about you. You've always been good enough. It's that this person didn't feel good enough, and they knew they weren't good enough for you. And there was something about the Queen of Cups that made them feel like they were above them or feel good enough. And it just didn't have anything to do with you. I don't know. I don't know if this is relationship-wise or business-wise, but either way, something about the failure that took place in the past really came down to the people that you had around you and like what you were allowing. Okay, so in the advice we have the Nine of Cups, Justice, Libra energy, the King of Wands, and the Eight of Wands with the Sun. That's when I say a shift is coming. I do feel like it was the eclipse. Like I think that something is becoming so apparent that you just couldn't see for what it was before. I think whatever the situation was that did involve other people, because again, for everybody it's going to be different. You were looking at just the failure. You weren't looking at what you gained from it. You weren't looking at what stood to be gained from it. I think that it hit your confidence, and the shift here is, oh, well, now I'm in a position to go get whatever I want. I'm in a position to be selfish. I'm in a position to do what I want in life and what's best for me here. There's some type of confidence coming back. Somebody's ready to go and get every fucking thing that they lost here. That is the, like, somebody's, like, internal energy is like, whatever the fuck was taken from me, I'm getting back, and I'm doing it now. There is a shift. There's some progress happening here. And I do feel like there's a lot of clarity. I mean, this sun, you know, obviously can be about optimism and hope and all of that. But I think here it's also about clarification. On a past situation. I kind of feel like somebody's looking at, like, this shit was fucked up and somebody took something from me and I'm going to get back every single thing that was taken from me, which is the type of confidence that you need in this type of situation. But there also used to be this factor of feeling abandoned or rejected or screwed over, and like you've lost everything, and you know the other people involved aren't going to be accountable in any type of way. To, it doesn't matter, I don't even need them to be accountable, I already know what really happened, you know what I mean? I know the whole story and I see clearly exactly what was happening, and in the future that could never happen to me again. I don't know, I just feel like there's been a situation that you have been sitting around stewing over, maybe even being bitter about, and now you just understand clearly what was going on. Somebody wasn't who they say they are, somebody was involved where they shouldn't be, somebody was making some side deals that they shouldn't, you know, whatever the situation was, it's not like you just failed on your own. There were other people involved and they were part of the problem here, you know? So while it may have affected you, in the future, them motherfuckers ain't there to stop you. They can't slow you down, they can't delay the process, they can't take what's yours. It can't happen. You're back in control. So there's something really uplifting about this week, where like there's no bitterness anymore. You don't give one single shit what happened before. All you care about now is where you are today and where you're going to be at soon. Because I feel like there's so many blessings coming into you right now after this really long period of time. But the biggest blessing is your confidence being back. You feeling like you are back in control of a situation. Nobody can stop you or slow you down. All of these cards in the advice are beautiful. Like there is, you know, like I said before, somebody said everything that was taken from them, they're getting back in 2025. And that ain't no fucking lie. And karma's a bitch. Whoever the Empress and the Queen of Cups are, this ain't going to be their year. They're going to be looking back on what they did and how they fucked up and how they should not have done that, because there's some huge success coming into your life. And I feel like even though whatever this was, it really hurt you, it taught you a huge lesson on how to succeed here. So, karmic retribution, that's what I see this week. All right. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys soon.